Why your brain lies to you. Have you ever spent an entire day worrying about something embarrassing you did, only to realize nobody else even remembers it? Or argued with someone because you were absolutely sure you were right? What if I told you that one of the least reliable things you own isn't your phone, your internet connection, or even your eyesight? It's your brain. Every second, your brain filters, edits, and rewrites reality to help you make quick decisions. Most of the time, these shortcuts keep you alive, but sometimes they convince you that everyone's watching you, make you ignore facts you don't like, and even create memories that never happened. In other words, your brain lies to you. And the strangest part, it does it every single day. Today we're uncovering 3 psychological effects that secretly shape the way you think, remember, and see the world. Once you notice them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. The spotlight effect. Let's begin with a simple question. How often do you think other people are paying attention to you? F. You're like most people, your answer is probably much higher than reality. Imagine walking into a room and accidentally tripping. Immediately it feels as though everyone saw it. You replay the moment in your head. You wonder what people think. You feel embarrassed long after it happened. But in reality, most people either didn't notice or forgot about it almost immediately. This is known as the spotlight effect. It's the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice our appearance, behavior, and mistakes. The reason is surprisingly simple. You are at the center of your own experience. You hear every word you say. You notice every mistake you make. You live inside your own thoughts 24 hours a day. As a result, it's easy to assume everyone else is paying just as much attention to you as you are, but they're not. They're busy worrying about their own appearance, their own mistakes, their own problems. In a strange way, realizing this can be incredibly freeing. Most people aren't judging you nearly as much as you think. They're too busy thinking about themselves. Confirmation, bias. Now, let's move on to something even more powerful. Imagine you formed an opinion about a topic. Maybe it's a study method, a sports team, a political issue, or even a conspiracy theory. What happens next is fascinating. Without realizing it, your brain begins searching for information that supports what you already believe. Articles that agree with you feel convincing. Comments that support your view seem intelligent. Evidence that challenges your opinion suddenly feels weak or suspicious. This phenomenon is known as confirmation bias, and it's one of the most powerful psychological effects ever discovered. Humans like consistency. We prefer information that reinforces our beliefs because it requires less mental effort. Changing our minds can be uncomfortable, so our brains often take the easier route. They selectively collect evidence that confirms what we already think. The result? 2 intelligent people can look at the exact same information and walk away with completely different conclusions, not because one is smarter than the other, but because both are filtering reality through different expectations. The next time you're completely certain you're right, ask yourself a simple question. What evidence would convince me I'm wrong? If you can't answer that question, confirmation bias may already be influencing your thinking. The false memory effect. Now, for perhaps the most unsettling effect of all, your memory. Most people think of memory as a recording, like a video stored inside the brain. But that's not how memory works. Every time you remember an event, your brain reconstructs it. It pieces together fragments of information, emotions, assumptions, and details from previous experiences. In other words, memory is less like replaying a recording and more like rebuilding a puzzle. And sometimes pieces get lost. Sometimes new pieces get added. This creates what psychologists call false memories. Memories that feel completely real but contain inaccuracies. Or, in some cases, events that never happened at all. Research has shown that people can become confident in memories that are partially or entirely false. What's remarkable is that confidence doesn't guarantee accuracy. You can be absolutely certain about a memory and still be wrong. That realization changes the way we think about the past. Because if our memories can be edited, altered, and reconstructed over time, then the stories we tell ourselves about our lives may not be as reliable as we think. Conclusion: the spotlight effect convinces you that everyone is watching. Confirmation: bias convinces you that you're seeing reality objectively. False memories convince you that the past happened exactly the way you remember it. 3 different effects. 1 common theme: Your brain is not a perfect representation of reality. It's a survival machine. It evolved to help you make quick decisions, conserve energy, and navigate an incredibly complex world. And for the most part, it does an amazing job. But understanding its shortcuts allows you to think more clearly, to question your assumptions, to challenge your beliefs, and to see the world a little closer to the way it really is. Because the moment you realize your brain can lie to you is the moment you become much harder to fool.